Welcome to Live Without a Car, the show where we talk about everything related to living a car-free life. My name is Amanda, and I have lived without a car for nearly a decade in Portland, Oregon. I'm also an economist and your host, and today I want to share the 5 rules I put in place when I first moved to Portland without a car to make sure I could live this lifestyle long-term. I'm the type of person that absolutely needs a plan before I make a big life change. I also know about myself that if I make something too unnecessarily difficult, I'm not going to stick to it. So I made sure that I made my first year in Portland as easy as possible. Although I may not follow all of these rules today, they helped me in the beginning to minimize any complications I might have with commuting. So let's dive in. Rule number 1, the 1 mile rule. When I first visited Portland in 2011, I stayed in a hostel in the Pearl District, and I loved it so much that I said one day I would live there. However, when I finally made the move to Portland in 2016, the job that I obtained was actually located in the Lloyd District across the river, and I was required to be in office full-time. I had placed a rule on myself called the 1 mile rule, which stated I should live no more than 1 mile from work to ensure I could walk within a reasonable amount of time, 20 minutes or less. Yes, I could have taken transit from the Pearl to Lloyd, but I couldn't walk in a reasonable amount of time, so that meant finding a new neighborhood. Living within walking distance to my job was, in my opinion, the single most powerful way to stay reliable without a car. Rule number 2, the 3 routes rule. I wanted to ensure that I had multiple low-cost ways to get to work in case something happened. When I chose my apartment, I made sure I could walk, bike, and take transit to get to work easily and fast. I could walk in 20 minutes, bike in 10, and take the bus, which was just a 5-minute commute. Transit systems change. Stops get cut, routes shift, and budgets tighten, as we're experiencing today with TriMet. If one day the bus was very late, no problem, I could just walk. Worst case scenario, I could take Uber, but that was rarely, if ever, necessary. Rule number 3, the no bridge rule. Choose a neighborhood that doesn't force you to cross a bridge during your commute. Portland's bridges are beautiful, but they're also choke points, subject to lift delays, closures, and construction. If you can avoid them in your daily routine, you eliminate an entire category of unpredictable headaches. Case in point, this year, 2026, the Broadway Bridge has been shut down for the last 6 months and counting. Anyone who relies on this bridge as their fastest route to work now must find a different and longer path. Rule number 4, the no transfer rule. Another major bottleneck I tried to avoid was transfers between transit lines. I didn't want to be dependent on a transfer to get to work, which meant I had to live closer to a bus line, max line, or streetcar line that would get me as close as possible. The moment your commute depends on that second bus or train, your risk of delays, missed connections, and being late to work increases. A one-seat ride, as they say in the public transit world, keeps your commute simple. Rule number 5, the 30-minute city rule. By now, you have probably heard of the 15-minute city. It is an urban planning concept where residents can access most daily necessities, such as work, shopping, healthcare, education, and entertainment, within a 15-minute walk or bike ride from their home. Portland is a little too big to make that happen, so I came up with the 30-minute city rule. I aim to place almost everything I relied on, work, groceries, doctors, dance classes, my favorite cafes, etc., within a 30-minute walking, biking, or transit trip. This served me extremely well in my initial years, so well that I actually never biked anywhere because walking in transit did the job. One big reason I left Orlando was because I was simply tired of commuting long distances for what seemed to be everything in my life. So this helped me focus on living more efficiently. You can make the argument that the above rules are pretty strict, and honestly, I agree. However, I followed each and every one of the rules when I first relocated to Portland by myself, and it ensured I had a stress-free life my first time out the gate of living without a car. Many people worried about my new lifestyle, but in fact, my life had never been easier. Never during my adult life did I have a 5-minute commute to work in Orlando. It was something I could only dream of, and to make it happen, I had to move out of the suburbs, period. So yes, these rules will change how you make decisions, which jobs you will take, whether you will rent or own a house, what relationships you will have, etc., which is why it is important to know your why. Are the benefits, and there are many, of living without a car enough to offset the costs? To summarize the 5 rules again, they are the 1 mile rule, the 3 routes rule, the no bridge rule, the no transfer rule, and the 30-minute city rule. If you're interested in taking the next steps to live without a car, send us an email at livewithoutacar@gmail.com to get our free resource to start your journey today. Thanks for listening to Live Without a Car. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe and share it with a friend. Until next time, walk slowly and enjoy the scenery. Ciao!